All right, sorry, Chad, I'm back. Personal stuff. Let me quit out of this and restart it. Give it a fair shake from the beginning. Alrighty. You don't like the new music, the new Yakuza music? I mean, it's signifying the difference between Kiryu and Ichiban. That's why it's different and more like modern and techno, but I don't know who KSI, I don't know who that is. The music, so I've been meaning to redo a lot of my stream assets. I recently blew up my entire OBS install and restarted it from scratch, basically just rebuilding it. I rebuilt it pretty much the same, a little bit more streamlined, but yeah, new graphics, but more importantly, different music. A lot of that music gets claimed on YouTube when I stream it, the BRB stuff. So obviously, when I cut it up, it doesn't get any of the BRB stuff, any of the BRB music. So that doesn't really matter a ton. But yeah, all the Bakumatai stuff gets claimed, which is like 6 different remixes of that in there. So it's more a matter of just finding music that fits, is entertaining enough for a BRB, but not too crazy, and that is copyright, not copyright, not copywritten, but not enforced, I guess. I gotta raid some of the Persona music maybe as well, but on the long-term to-do list is to do that. It's just a matter of when I have time, really. Friends to chat with. I guess maybe Zot, but everybody I've put an effort into like becoming friends with since I moved here, I've all moved off of Long Island, so it's a little bit of a pain to continuously like try to make friends and then have them move away. Let me make a new game here.
Come closer. Fear not.
No, the demo has just begun.
Why have you come to my 1,000-year-old tomb? In truth, my world was not so different from yours. Deep in their hearts, humans resemble each other, and that will not change anytime soon. Dreams are sometimes more telling than historical facts. The greatest dream of my time was the ideal of chivalry. To be a knight is to offer the very best of yourself, day after day, inspired by 4 virtues: love, prowess, largesse, and loyalty. Come closer now, and look at this book. You will live the greatest adventure that the men and women of my time ever told, that of King Arthur and his round table.
Long ago in the Isle of Britain, there ruled a king named Uther Pendragon. He became enamored with Igraine, wife of the Duke of Cornwall. Under a spell cast by the enchanter Merlin, the couple conceived an illegitimate child. After birth, the child, Arthur, was entrusted to the attentive care of a knight. Ector raised Arthur as his son, along his natural son, Kay. After Uther's death, the kingdom became unstable, facing attacks from the Saxons and internal squabbling. One day, a magnificent sword embedded in a rock appeared in London. Reputed as a wise man, Merlin declared that whoever succeeded in withdrawing the sword from the stone would become the High King of Britain. The news spread through the kingdom, and so Sir Kay, who had just been knighted, decided to attend the tournament, accompanied by his father Ector and his younger brother and squire Arthur. hold down the space bar to skip the cutscene.
Hector, Kay, and Arthur arrived in London after a long journey. The herald goes to announce the second day of the tournament.
Uther High King, all this day is for you. Slain by Saxons, oh so brave and so true. Victors, you will pull the sword as your due. Man from all this land so wide, now do stand here side by side. Oh, what gallantry and pride! How the hardy men did shine by their valor and their ardor yesterday. But the boldest of them all, the King of Orkney, was the victor in the fray. Oh, the blood and agony, the fearful cries when ladies saw the helmets play. All eyes were on King Lot. He seized the sword in stone, but it refused to give. He will not have the throne, for it is worthiness, not strength, that must be shown.
Our knights respectfully salute the man dressed in Uther Pendragon's colors. Greetings, sires, and welcome to London, he exclaims. I am Elias, herald of this city.
Ernie, what are you doing, baby? Why? Why? Why would you come over and ask me to pick you up if you immediately want to run away?
It is a pleasure to see you at this illustrious tournament, he says cheerfully. By the way, Sir Hector and Sir Kay, you are fighting in the main event later today.
Medieval Times is a lot of fun. Last time I was there, I was going to bring my camera, and I was like, they probably don't allow that. And then, like, we get there, and it's like, oh, yeah, you can bring whatever you want in. It's like, oh, okay. It would have been sick to get some good shots like the horses or the guys fucking fighting. Maybe next time I go, I'll bring my camera and try and get some good shots. It's a pleasure to see you at this illustrious tournament, he says cheerfully. By the way, Sir Hector and Sir Kay, you are fighting in the main event later today. Ask him about the battle that awaits us in the large lists.
Sir Kay and Sir Hector must fight Sir Agwisance and Sir Meliant of Liss on horseback. They are formidable opponents.
I guess this is Arthur as the squire to the Sir Kay and Sir Hector. Maybe it's backwards. Learn more about Agwisance and Meliant.
Agwisance is the vassal of King Lot, who was the victor yesterday on the first day of the tournament. Like his sovereign, Agwisance is an outstanding fighter. He's known to be feisty and insolent. Meliant, meanwhile, is a promising young knight. He has great strength, yet he's contemptuous and immature.
Very interesting mix of like the, what would you call the medieval style that this is, like tapestry almost type thing, plus 3D assets. Ask him about King Lot, who won the previous day's battle but failed to pull the sword from the stone.
King Lot of Orkney is powerful and fearsome, both on the battlefield and at court. He grips his allies' hearts with fear and sows terror among his enemies. He must surely be coming to terms with his failure to remove the sword from the stone.
Plus, the food at Medieval Times usually is pretty good. Ask about more information of the sword and the
When
stone.
King Uther died, Merlin, a very wise enchanter indeed, put a sword into the stone in front of St. Paul's Cathedral. Whoever manages to remove it will be Uther's successor.
What are you doing, Bert? You look like you want to get on my lap too, but then you walk away.
And that is the reason for this tournament. Every knight who wins the day's events earns a turn at trying to pull out the sword.
Take our leave.
Before our hero turns away, Elias says a knight is waiting for Sir Ector farther down the road.
Okay. New quest log has been added. New quest has been added to the quest log. To view it, click on the page curl icon. Upper left corner. Oh, that's cool. Before the hero turns away, Elias says a knight is waiting for Sir Ector further down the road. Participate in the first day of combat. In the first combat of the day, meet the man mentioned by the herald. Find the man. The adventure's dialogues are recorded in the journal with the progression. Along with the progression, when they contain a hint, a key will appear next to it. Okay. Green button allows you to navigate between clues. Previous clue. Sir Ector and Sir Kay, you're fighting the main event. I see, okay. Navigate to the book. Click the indicated tab to return to the chapter's beginning. Quest log, okay. To exit the book. Okay. Use a horse. To unmount a horse, point and left click your character's horse and the cursor is displayed. Oh, is this me? Oh, I thought this would be me. I guess I don't want to get off the horse, do I? Anytime it's possible to move the camera horizontally simply by holding down the mouse wheel and moving the cursor left or right. Okay, cool. To move on foot, mouse click in the direction designed direction. And click as release, the knight stops. Depending on proximity to the knights, the speed decreases. There are 3 levels. Okay, so I got right mouse, okay. Fast, faster, sprint, okay. Talk to a character. Talk to a character, point at the cursor over the character, left click when the cursor changes.
When Ulfius spots our heroes, he exclaims with earnest joy, "Here is my dear old Ector, ah, dear friend, how happy I am to see you. And these must be your sons, Kay and Arthur."
Greet Ector's old friend, Ulfrus, and introduce Arthur and Kay.
Ulfius is delighted.
Ulfius.
What a long time it has been, good old Ector. Let's have a friendly duel on foot, just you and me, to see which of us has the oldest bones. He shows his former companion the blunt weapons they'd be using, but only to the first touché, he adds.
Accept the
Ector
duel.
and Ulfius prepare for the battle, both quite excited to fight each other once again.
Make tooltips appear by placing the cursor over elements of the interface. It will give you additional information about desired elements. Action points, down here. At the beginning of each combat turn, each knight starts with 3 action points. Action points represent the passage of time and are spent each time a character performs an action. Knight's actions. Combat actions are displayed in the Knight Actions menu below. You can come back to this menu anytime by left-clicking the Knight icon. I'm guessing that's one of these Knight icons, yeah. Knight Actions. Tooltips detail the effects and use conditions of every action, as well as their AP cost. Hover the cursor over any action icon to display the corresponding tooltip. Unsheath allows the character to equip a weapon contained in their scabbard without going through a squire. Equip a shield from shield belt. Mount a horse, dismount a horse. Surrender. Beg your opponent to spare you. If they accept, your character will be removed from the adventure and will lose 1 to 3 opulence points depending on your standard of living. You can beg for mercy once per battle per night. Only knights can grant or beg mercy. You also fight your homies after not seeing them for many fortnights, yeah. Run. Rally cry. Increase the cowardice threshold of the entire group by 12 if successful, -1 if failed. Slash attack. Strike with the edge of your weapon. Most effective against light armor and gambesons. Aimed slash attack. Strike with the edge of your weapon. More effective against light armor and gambesons. Thrust attack. Aimed thrust. Okay. Moving in combat costs action points. Moving 1 hex on foot costs 3 AP. Well, it only costs 1 on horseback. Alright. Movement in combat. Moving the cursor on the ground highlights the available hexes. Right-click any hex to move forward. Oh, interesting. But if I move forward, I'm going to be in range of him. End phase. To end your combat phase, click on the hourglass icon. If APs are remaining, 5 fatigue points will get removed per AP remaining. The hourglass will turn green when all knights in combat have used their AP. Okay, so I end my turn. He's going to move up, but then he can't attack. It's your turn. I'm assuming I'm going to attack now. Riveted mesh and plate armor. How do I know what he's wearing? Fatigue X1. Agility plus melee divided by cavalry. It seems to be the same. I'm not sure what the difference is between the slash and the aim slash. Is it just the area? Yeah, I think it's just the area. Cancel a challenge. Some challenges can be canceled if you decide to do so. It might allow you to choose a different option or postpone a difficult challenge for a better time. When do we meet King Arthur? King Arthur, well, not King Arthur is in our party, so we're meeting him early. You face your first challenge. You can face challenges in any uncertain situations, whether or not in combat. The top area indicates what type of challenge you're dealing with and the challenge's difficulty, which is the total score of your opponent. The score is unknown to you when you are the initiator. When you initiate a challenge, such as when you attack in combat or in a persuasion challenge, if you succeed, if your challenge total is above the total of your opponent, the higher the margin is, the more wounds you will inflict in combat. Since you don't know the opponent's total here, you must simply guess. You can see the calculation of the challenge in real time according to traits, bonuses, and malices of your knight. When a card is selected, the value is added to the equation. The traits needed for a challenge are automatically defined by the type of challenge. The value of the trait is presented in the equation depends on those of your knight displayed below, down here. I thought it said Sir Error. I was like, what? Sir Ector. Select a card of your choice and experiment with the available combinations and know that it's possible to validate a challenge without selecting any card. Click on the OK button to validate your choice. Okay. So I can choose love, which brings a total of 10. That brings it to 11, 13, 17, and 17 for this love. So I'll do this and do attack, and we'll get 17. Plus 12 fatigue points. Oh, boy. Sir Ulrich's shield cracked to the belt. And I will get rid of some of my fatigue by ending my turn early. When you are not the challenge initiator, the total score equal to challenge difficulty is enough to win it. So they're going to do 15. So I want to get mine up to 15 exactly, basically. 16. All right, so I got 16. That should be enough. Oh, your shield is a 33% chance of breaking. Okay, well, it'll be a fair fight still if it breaks. It's your turn. That's 7. What is this? Does this change anything if I already selected it? Okay. 15. Sure. I'm not sure if I even won. Right arm. Okay.
Exhausted, the two friends decide to call it quits. At this rate, they won't last long, Ulfius laughs. Ector catches his breath, then thanks his friend for the fight.
Okay, I think we got all our fatigue absolved. Ask how he is.
Old knight is in good condition, but in any case, he will never stop fighting. It is out of the question. He dreams of a glorious death on the battlefield.
Ask what he thinks of the tournament.
Indeed, it is a great tournament, bustling with activity. Knights from all over the kingdom have come here to face off and take their chances at winning.
Raise the volume a little bit. Ask him about King Lot.
Ulfius does not much care for King Lot. He thinks Lot will be quick to sow discord if someone other than he pulls the sword from the stone and becomes High King of Britain.
Good to know. Ask for more information about the sword and the stone.
The old warrior would certainly like to have a go at it, but he's far less enthusiastic about becoming High King of Britain. Whoever takes over Uther's throne will have many an enemy.
Ask Ulfus if he has any tips to help us look good in the tournament.
Kay, an actor, could persuade the herald to give them a flattering introduction before their battle in the lists. This would make quite an effect and give them a certain advantage.
All right, that's a good tip. Bribe the herald.
On the other hand, adds old Ulfius with a laugh, it would be wise to have a few
Bribe
pennies in your
the
pocket
herald.
to be more persuasive.
You got a few pennies you can loan us, buddy? All right,
The
goodbye.
knight holds back our heroes a moment. I saw a tearful young woman in London, Ulfius says. If you help her, she'll be delighted to choose one of you as her champion. There's nothing like the prospect of winning a lady's favor to strengthen one's courage. When he hears this, Kay sneers. He does not need a lady to be brave. Ulfius starts laughing. Hector rolls his eyes and then thanks his friend.
Get to your horse before you leave. Okay. Wonder if you get fatigued by running. Select a leader. Change the group's leader. Several controls are possible. Click on a banner in the lower interface. Click on the knight. Press tab. Sir Kay, Sir Hector, Sir Arthur. The manual goes into even more details on the rules of the game. Be sure to check it out if you need further help. On our way.
Two knights play chess in the shelter of a pavilion. The game seems to drag on and on.
Vertical chess. That's a new one.
An elderly knight greets our hero cheerfully.
Well, the game wouldn't drag on so long if they actually played it. They're just looking at it. Greet and introduce ourselves.
Dressed in gules and silver crosses, the man says his name is Baldwin.
Baldwin. Ask who he is.
Baldwin is a very pious knight who usually lives like a hermit.
Ask for more information about the
The
sword and
knight would be
stone.
lying if he said he was not dying to try it too. He may not have won the day before, but he hopes to make up for it today or tomorrow.
So what? They have to win the tournament in order to try the stone? Ask him about King Lot.
Baldwin laughs and says he certainly would never speak ill of King Lot.
Not asking you to speak ill. We're asking your opinion. Take
The
leave.
knight wishes our hero good day.
Excuse me.
A knight with an impressive head of blonde hair notices our hero signaling that he would like to have a word. The knight greets him.
Greet and introduce
This
ourselves.
man, dressed in azure and gold, is called Orion.
Don't speak ill, Gear. Full stop. I'm not speaking ill of anybody. I'm just asking their opinions. Ask who he
Orion
is.
is king of Gore and King Lot's rival. I am married to the most fierce woman in all of Britain. For that reason alone, I will make the best high king this land has ever known. He laughs.
Ask him about King Lot.
Orion was delighted yesterday to see Lot fail to pull the sword from the stone. But Lot must not be underestimated, as he is a warrior and a leader.
Ask for more information about the sword and stone.
It is said that this sword just appeared one fine morning. In his opinion, there is enchantment about it all. But regardless, the knight is determined to try his hand and to succeed.
Determined.
The King of Gore pays no further attention to our hero.
Change lane. You're crossing an intersection. You can change lane. To do so, point the cursor in the second lane and left click when the cursor changes. Change lane. Oh. Weird. We going down, I guess. There was no option to ask about witchers, no. Interesting how the horses, when they're walking, their back legs are lower than their front legs to try and level them out. Not so much when they're standing. A little bit when they're standing, but they actually have a different walk animation when going downhill.
Amazed, our knights pass the majestic gate to London, the largest town in all of Britain.
You also have a different walk animation when you go downhill. That's fair, however, you are also not a video game.
Behind a stall selling rare and precious fabrics, a bronze-skinned merchant with a broad smile greets our knight. The merchant, named Basil, sells the most beautiful and fine products.
Why have you been collecting these coins then? That's to pay rent and buy food and health insurance. Do you need a tutorial on being an adult? Greet the merchant and introduce yourself.
Man first shows muslin and camlet, and then various silk fabrics: alpine, pale, cycloton, osterine, sandal, samite, and more. Though the names are too many for our hero to remember, he's dazzled by the fabric's colors, textures, and sheen.
What kind of loot would I drop if this was a video game and I got bonked? I mean, I feel like a bunch of gears, no? Does that not thematically make sense? Like what game am I thinking of? What are you talking about, Wazako? Ask how he is.
Basil is delighted to be selling his wares in London. The tournament brings people from all over the country, and this is very good for business. He misses Constantinople, of course, but Britain is an enchanting land. Basil
Goodbye.
hopes our knight will come back to his shop before the end of the tournament.
Oh. That didn't match the subtitle, but okay. This is a full-on RPG. I didn't realize it was this in depth. This is the maiden who needs help.
Our heroes spot a very young lady sobbing her heart out. The sleeves of her pretty blue dress have been torn off.
Bonk is a euphemism, but not bonk. What? It could mean multiple things, I suppose. What does my loot table look like if you're farming me in an old school RuneScape? Just varying amounts of gears. I don't know. Other personal items that represent... I mean... I guess a bunch of keys and... a pocket knife. That's usually what I carry on me. I don't know. What some coins? I don't know. Empty my pockets right now. I'm wearing sweatpants right now. I got nothing in my pockets. As soon as I come home, I rock the gray sweats as is tradition. Our heroes spot a very young lady sobbing her heart out. The sleeves of her pretty blue dress have been torn off.
Kay laughs at her, but Arthur says
I've never
nothing.
played World of
In the
Warcraft.
end, it is Hector who comforts the girl.
Gray sweatpants streamer. Listen, like 5 or 6 years ago, it was no pants. I have leveled up to sweatpants.
Her eyes full of tears, she says, "Sire, I am so ashamed for you to see me in such a state. My name is Neris, and from now on, I will also be known as the damsel with the short sleeves."
You could also just have no sleeve. That's pretty popular these days. Yeah, I didn't used to do the camera. I would just be on stream. They're not on stream. Just no, I wouldn't have a camera. So what does it matter? Why not be comfortable? Read the damsel and ask her about the cause of her distress. I mean, she pretty much spelt it out, but
It is the fault of her older sister, Carenza, who tore off her sleeves. She could not stand it when I made the teeniest criticism of her bow, the so-called proud and magnificent Meliant of Lys, says the damsel, grimacing.
ask what she's doing here.
Neris and her sister, Carenza, have come with their father, Sir Thibaut of Tintagel, who is now resting from yesterday's duels. Young lady with the short sleeves will not soon forget how her sister has wronged her.
What? You want me to prove I'm wearing sweatpants? I got sweatpants on, bro. And gray socks on top of that. Ask her about her older sister.
The odious girl is only interested in Meliant, as if he were the best knight in the world, which is far from the case, she
No, I'm not
adds,
bluffing.
wrinkling her nose.
What would I gain? What would I gain from lying about wearing or not wearing sweatpants? Is my favorite color gray? No. It's like a nice dark green, but sweatpants, I don't know. You tend to get like black, white, or gray, maybe the navy blue. I really like these. They're super comfortable, but I cannot, for the life of me, find another pair of them. The label with the brand is long worn off, but even when it was new, they were like on sale at like Macy's or something, and they're the most comfortable sweatpants I've ever had. And every time I went to their website, I could not find both Macy's and the manufacturer. I could not find more info about them, so I've been unable to buy another pair, unfortunately. I wish though, because they're super comfortable. Now they're getting old. They got a hole in them right in the crotch, and they're all stretched out and worn, unfortunately. I'd drop those sweatpants. I mean, if I could find another pair that were nice. Why is the hole there? Because it's worn, it's old. These things are like 10 years old. They're like 10 years old, dude. They're super comfortable because they're old and worn, but they're even comfortable when they're new. Ask for more information about the sword and the stone.
Oh, this sword. Whoever pulls it out will be the most powerful man in Britain.
I do need to admit, I actually have my sewing kit right here, but I just haven't done it yet. I took it out specifically. The whimsy of your rhetorical game? No, you'll have to explain it to me. Propose to Neris to be her champion.
She'll gladly accept Hector as her champion if he can find her precious sleeves.
You're saying I'm still the same size after 10 years? No, I'm actually a significantly smaller size. I think I've lost like 60 pounds in the last couple months. Somewhere around there, so I'm definitely not the same size, A. And B, they were already big to begin with, so now they're like monstrously huge on me, but... Alright, we gotta find some sleeves for her. We'll find you some sleeves.
Smiles.
Goodbye.
Madame,
Don't need to hear what you're saying, we're just gonna need sleeves. Sir,
Byzantine merchant is delighted to see our hero who...
can you cut sleeves from the weft of blue fabric?
The merchant can, indeed. For the exact shade our knight points to, he asks 120 pennies. But that is an exorbitant price.
$1.25? I mean... Negotiate the price of sleeves. Love +2. Loyalty -2. You're about to face a persuasion challenge. Each dialogue choice corresponds to a knightly virtue. And after you select a dialogue choice, you can only play cards from this virtue. Okay, I would assume I probably want to do the one that has a positive bonus. Basil, your fabrics render me speechless. They're clearly the product of hard work and remarkable skill. Yet I also know a dealer must negotiate their prices. Yeah, interestingly enough, I'm not gonna throw any family members health stuff out there, but I'm not the one in the family that has issues with like insulin or diabetes, which is very weird. Of anyone, I would assume it would be me, but no, the doctor said that I got fucking like nothing wrong with me. Everything looks great, so. Change a knight in a challenge. Some challenges allow you to change knights. In this case, the banner at the bottom left will be clickable. Click on the banner to change knight. Why would I want to? Oh, I see. 4, 5, 7. All right, I'm gonna stick with him. Grail cards have a random value that varies between 14 and 24. However, you won't know exact value until you confirm the challenge. Okay. 24, 7, 19. All right. Success.
Hands on hips, the merchant hears our hero out before answering with his own arguments. And then, before our knight has said another word, Basil accepts.
Buy the sleeves at a reduced cost of 60 pennies.
Satisfied, Basil hands our knight the sleeves his craftsmen have cut from silk.
60 silver pennies. All right, let's go back. Goodbye.
Basil hopes our knight will...
We have a mistress to impress. Quest items appear in the quest items inventory. Click on the corresponding button to show this menu when needed. Okay, there's a key right here. I see. So there's knights, spells, squires, quest items. Transferable to another knight. Left click an item and drag it to the desired knight. Okay. Who has it? Go talk to the relevant card. Okay, so I want to give it to Sir Hector. That did not work. Give item. Okay, so now I can be Sir Hector, and we can go talk to the mistress again.
Neris, still sorrowful, welcomes our hero once again, but with a faint look of hope.
Give her the sleeves.
The young girl wipes tears from her eyes.
Oh, it's not even sleeves. It's like
Joy the
tassels.
sight of these immaculate sleeves brings her to spite her sister and to show her gratitude to Hector. Neris happily agrees to let Hector be her champion. Hector laughs kindly. She's far too young to be his beloved. Yet he is a courteous man, so he willingly agrees to defend the damsel's honor. And so she entrusts him with one of her precious sleeves.
Wait, she gave it back? Why did she just give it right back? All right,
The
goodbye.
damsel invites our
Goodbye. An equipable item. A character sheet. Equip armor, places it directly from inventory by left click on the item. Okay. Grants +1 grace. Okay, cool. Let's go fight in the tournament. We gotta go bribe the, oh, look at the juggler. We gotta go bribe the... Pay attention to your surroundings. You will find interactive elements that will move the story forward. Hover the cursor over, then left click when the hand cursor changes. Some elements will prove useful later. There's a dog barking in the game, yeah.
What a lovely fountain in the middle of the square. The gentle splashing of the water adds life to the scene. What a lovely fountain.
I just take a scoop of water.
Two guards block the path. Halt there, says one with authority. No one may go further. Their stern, unsympathetic faces show that they do not feel like chatting.
Oh, well, okay. Let's go talk to this guy then. Can I not talk to this guy? No. How do I get to the tournament then?
Two young people, a noble damsel and a gallant knight, hold hands, oblivious to the world around them. Their
go on,
eyes
Techno.
glow with passion.
The frame rate is already higher than what is being streamed. It's playing at 75 FPS, and you guys can only see 60. Greet the two young people.
As if awakened from a dream, the damsel and the knight slowly greet our heroes. The damsel's name is Carenza, and the knight is Milliant of Lys.
Oh, that's the sister. How are you doing?
Since meeting this brave and handsome knight, the young lady has never been happier. Milliant is so strong. No competitor should dare claim they will win the tournament, she says joyfully.
Ask the young man how he's doing.
He is the happiest man on earth, he says, and his beloved is the ravishing Carenza. Furthermore, he cannot wait to snatch victory from Hector and Kay. No offense, he says confidently, but you are no match for me.
Yeah, all right, buddy. Ask Carenza about her love for Milliant.
Carenza boasts of the strength and depth of her love for Milliant. She then recounts their first meeting by the fountain.
The
in
fountain like
London's
2 feet to the
wealthy
right?
district. Our hero sees it's hard to stop her once she gets started on this topic. Carenza is
Reverse.
a blessing. He would do anything for her. Plus, she whets his appetite for victory and glory.
Information about the sword.
The young lady is all too eager for Milliant to withdraw the sword and be crowned High King of Britain. She is already imagining herself queen of this land. Milliant thinks he has a good chance of pulling the sword from the stone. He is young, strong, courageous, and handsome too. He thinks
Courageous.
Britain would have much to gain if he became High King. While Milliant mumbles goodbye to our hero, Carenza has already forgotten our knight. So focused is she on her beloved.
Well, I want the town dog. Shut up. All right, I don't know where the actual thing is. I guess let me go back and see. Can I go a different direction. I can't talk to him. Where we made the split earlier, maybe I can split the other way. So the mouse cursor, you see how it's those arrows? If I hold right click and branch it off the screen, it goes to my other screen and it is still the three cursors on the other screen. That's pretty funny. I will say, one thing I'm noticing is the FPS is just slowly dropping over time.
Signal to announce the next battle. Aguisance and Million also stand ready to face off against Hector and Kay.
They got here so quick. Accept and start the fight.
Emphatically and poetically, the herald proclaims how Aguisance has accomplished such fine feats thanks to his ardor and daring. He also introduces Million to Bliss, whose strength is well proven.
We didn't bribe anybody,
Then
so...
it is Hector and Kay's turn. Though Elias praises the experience of the first and the ardor of the second, our knights feel he could have presented them better.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh,
let the duel begin.
I didn't see him. It would have been nice to have seen him, talk to him.
Alas, Arthur lost Kay's sword.
What?
Kay spitefully accuses his brother of being a bad squire. It's impossible for him to fight without his trusted sword. So now, here he is, stuck on the sidelines. Fortunately, Orpheus arrives to fight alongside Hector.
How did we lose his sword? Initiative. For certain combats, you will have to take an initiative challenge to determine which side will start the fight. There will be no initiative challenges in the event that you take your enemies by surprise, or if your group is taken by surprise by them. I like him in the background. What the fuck, bro? Why did he do this? If only you could find a sword in the stone somewhere, yeah. It's possible to examine a combat character or his horse at any time. In combat, this allows you to examine certain characteristics in order to make sound decisions. Click on the examine icon. Click on a combatant on cursor. Click on a combatant on cursor challenge. If the combatant you want to examine is not in the field of view, remember you can move the camera by holding down the mouse wheel. I can do this, and I can look at him. You now observe the various stats in the designated area. Okay, so he's a rich charger. Change knights. Okay. The advantage is to move 3 hexes on combat to unlock the charge action, which costs 0 AP. Okay. So... surrender. Aimed charge. Okay. Aimed charge. I can't reach him, though. Shit. Oh, they're fleeing already. Let's see. Odd total. Your lance will break. Oh, wow. Okay, so there is something to this. Am I just defending? Or am I actually attacking? Oh, shit. Nice. Success. Sir Hector inflicted with a minor wound. Sir Militant... Oh, inflicted a minor wound on his right arm. He's destabilized. Oh my god. That's a lot of text that I'm not going to read. I'm sorry. Sir right became useless. Okay. So his armor became useless on his right arm. Or on his left arm, one of his arms. And he lost his horse. While falling, he received a major wound, -3 to his arm. Okay, so yeah, The armor broke on his right arm, and he hurt his left arm, I think. Surrender. The enemy asks for mercy. To accept, you must pass the challenge. If you accept, the level of opulence will increase. Otherwise, you'll lose honor. Okay. Well, if he wants to fucking bail. Difficulty 12, so we did it. I didn't look before I clicked that, but... So Sir Ector gave mercy to Sir Melot de Lis for a ransom of 2 opulence points. Okay, cool. Plus 3 cowardice points. Is he trying to attack me? No, he's charging. Difficulty unknown. Nice. That's good for us. A head injury. And plus 5 cowardice points. We had negative 5 cowardice points, so we gained resolve, I guess. His lance shattered to pieces. So he's now weaponless. And he got a torso injury while falling off his horse. This is a minor wound. Okay. A mercy challenge. Okay. Difficulty of 12. I just have to meet it, I think. Yeah, so I'll meet it. Gave mercy. So we won. All that boasting about winning, and they folded immediately.
Our knights fought with fabulous power and speed. How beautiful to see such a duel. Spectators were awed to watch young knights defeated by 2 older warriors. Elias proclaims Orpheus and Ector victorious. Kay will have one last chance to shine. The next tournament will pit Kay and Bodwin against Orion and Brastias. But for now, those who have just fought should go and rest.
Nice.
Kay, red with rage, orders his brother to find him a sword, and fast. Feeling ashamed, Arthur only has himself to rely on.
Your group now has 1 member. Get on the horse. The group's cohesion has changed and is now good. What does that mean? Was it bad before? Let me find a stone with a rock with a sword in it, I guess. Find a sword. Ask the crowd where to find the sword. Okay.
Seeing our knight return, Orion gestures distractedly at him.
Where can we find a sword for our brother Kay?
Orion snorts mockingly. Losing your nice sword. Ha! Now I have heard it all. Furthermore, he adds, he's not one to lend things, especially not his sword. The King of Gore
Goodbye.
pays no further attention to our hero. Bodwin smiles broadly as our hero arrives.
Ask where we can find a sword for our brother Kay.
Bodwin is very sorry for him. After a few words of encouragement, he tells Arthur that there is an old man outside the city who might be able to help him. The knight wishes our hero good... The triumphant damsel leaps for joy. Ector really put up a good fight. His victory has fully restored our honor. Now my sister can cry in shame, she exclaims.
Ask where her sister is gone.
Carenza must be at her beloved's bedside, tending his wounds, and his self-esteem, Neri's tinkling love, rises softly.
Ask we can find a sword for our brother.
Neris opens her eyes wide. She has no idea. The damsel in Elias is delighted to see our hero.
Where can we find a sword?
Elias replies dryly that the good squire.
Yeah, I'm aware.
See. This knight, lost in thought, does not react when Arthur greets him.
Goodbye.
Arthur is unable to rouse this blonde.
Cool.
A king, with emaciated, almost.
Nobody wants to talk.
A knight has.
Greet
The
him.
man's name is Brastias. He admits he's not much for conversation.
Where can we find a sword for our brother?
Brastias does not know what.
Cool.
The
Goodbye.
knight remains.
Outside the city, they said? Leftward or the city southward? I would assume we are already outside the city, so. Head this way. Are we gonna find Merlin? I would say this is inside the city at this point, right? Or is this the outskirts of the city and the real city is inside all the way on the right?
The two guards stop our hero again.
Yep. Cool. I still wish you could talk to this guy, but he's unavailable for chat. We'll run all the way back leftward and find the mysterious swordman. Okay, we have to change lanes. No, wait. Not what I meant to do. Get back on the horse. We need the circular one. That one. Looking for somebody new, somebody different here.
Beyond the palisade on the outskirts of London, a moor grows full of wild weeds, and the ancient Roman road runs through it.
Okay. Cross through.
This oak tree's boughs reach high into the sky. The broad trunk has a solid wooden door. Someone lives here.
Let us go. Knock upon the door.
Arthur knocks, and the door opens. He climbs a long staircase, spiraling up into the darkness of the trunk.
Positive highlights? I don't know. I finished Last of Us, I guess. There he is.
The
The wizard
inside
man.
of the oak tree looks more like a nest than a home. There are natural elements all around. Stones, painted or engraved driftwood, mistletoe over the hearth, and above all,
Uh-oh.
a prodigious
It's not
quantity of
Christmas.
feathers.
I finished it Monday. Sunday.
An old, sickly-looking man with a humped back greets our hero in a weak voice. He's peeling lopsided, yellowish tubers.
Today's Tuesday? I finished it Sunday, yeah. Greet and introduce ourselves.
Welcome to my esprit young squire, says the old man in a hoarse but warm voice. My name is Linnerm.
Linnerm. Ask him about his health. What are you peeling?
The old man smiles and says, "It's an extremely precious tuber. I brought it back from a long voyage across the sea. It looks like an apple, but it grows underground. I had the idea this morning to try frying them."
Oh, wow. French fries. Ask him about his health. I'm probably not that great if he's eating French fries.
Replies plaintively that his back hurts so much, and he has so much rheumatism. Oh, indeed, every day is an ordeal. He does not think he will be around much longer.
Rip in peace. Where can we find a sword,
Linnerm
dude?
will help Arthur, provided the young man can find him some mandrake root. The old man needs the plant's juice to treat his aching back. He also warns our hero. The mandrake will howl and curse the person who pulls it out of the ground. It is said that, rather than doing it yourself, you can make an animal pull it out.
You want one of those dogs pull it out? Ask him about
This
Mandrake. Maybe
plant
the
has
horse?
human-shaped roots and is male or female. It is born from the seed of the hanged. It is used as an aphrodisiac, an antivenom, and a painkiller. Arthur says goodbye, but when the old man says, Arthur repeats his words of farewell.
Alright, so we gotta find Mandrake root and make, I guess, the horse pull it out? I don't know. Well, we don't have any other animals to talk to. By you saying that, immediately makes me not want to click on the link, Zaga. Mandrake root. Is a dog?
The dog pays no attention to our hero. So busy is he scratching and clawing at the ground. He must be looking for a long-forgotten bone from a hanged man. A
Dog.
dead yew tree, stripped of its needles, looms ominously. It is the hanging tree of London. A mangy, stray dog tirelessly scratches at the ground.
Some rope.
This rope will be perfect for uprooting the mandrake once tied.
Okay. Tie rope to Mandrake.
Using the rope, Arthur approaches the dog, who starts to growl.
Alright, let me see what it is. What? Is that supposed to be the Doom Knight? Why? Why? Alright. Classic. Calm the dog with taming. Domestication challenge. Using the rope, Arthur approaches the dog, who starts to growl. Difficulty 12. 6. I'm gonna fail this no matter what I do.
The dog growls more and more fiercely. Arthur's authority and conviction is not enough to keep it from biting him. Even so, he succeeds in slipping the rope around its neck, and he ties the other end to the mandrake.
Was it not the Doom character? I don't know. I'm not up to date on A, Fortnite, and B, people's backsides.
He whistles, and the dog runs off at full speed, pulling out the magic plant, which screams a terrible curse at the dog.
Doom guy,
that runs
Doom
away
Knight.
as if the devil himself were on his heels.
Yeah, if you go Doom Knight, you don't get him either. All right, never mind. Doom guy. Doom Slayer. All right, I was close. Doom Slayer, Doom guy, Doom Knight. Same thing. Same thing.
Arthur retrieves the mandrake that has finally stopped squealing.
Squeal. +1 right arm injury. Rope is removed from inventory. All right. Old man in the tree, I've got your magic root.
Linnerm nods to Arthur as the Esprimoire door closes.
Hand over the mandrake.
The old man is delighted. To thank our hero, he gives him a grimoire and a purse full of pebbles. Use the inscription inside to enchant the purse, says Linnerm
Purse of
kindly.
pebbles.
With a wink, he adds that there is indeed a sword along the way, beyond the 2 guards posted in front of the stone enclosure inside London.
Great. I couldn't get in there. You've acquired the grimoire and obtained a quest spell. Click on the grimoire button to open it. The grimoire allows you to create general and quest spells. Once created, general spells can be used at any time, while quest spells can be used in specific contexts. Quest spells can be acquired during adventures. To discover your new spell, click on the button in the quest spell category. Create a... Thank you, Carrion. Appreciate it. Hopefully you're doing well. Are you enjoying Yakuza 0? Hopefully you are. To fool the senses is quite the art. With just 2 seasons, make it a start. A simple charm fooling the eye to make the truth itself belie. You might have dipped out for dinner. It's all good. There he is. Find the correct card combination by solving the riddle of the formula. Each card in your deck refers to a chivalrous virtue, which also corresponds to the season of the year. Also, each card depicts a plant whose name is written in Latin at the bottom. Note that the Grail cards can replace any card. Select the required cards to create the spell. 2 cards from different seasons. Cool. Have a good dinner. With just 2 seasons, make a start. A simple charm from the eye to make the truth itself belie. I have no clue. They said the Grail can replace 1. When the correct cards have been selected, click on the validation button to create the spell. Once spells created will appear in the spell inventory. I'll be unusable once the grimoire is closed. So I can go into my spell inventory. Illusion. This spell, which Linneman entrusted to Arthur, must be how the purse of pebbles changes its appearance. You acquired a quest spell. These spells have different powers and conditions to use. Read the tooltips. They require to be attentive to the story details as they allow you to progress your quests. Okay. To cast a spell, click on it.
When Arthur casts the spell the old man gave him, the purse begins to gleam. And inside, the plain old pebbles have turned into precious gems.
Wowee. Alright, let's trade the gems to the guys guarding the door, maybe? Are these guys rotoscoped? No, they're 3D models. I literally gave you multiple answers and you didn't like any of them. I can't be held responsible for you not liking my answers. Gear what? Gear what? Discord. Oh. What's going on? I'm live.
Am I
You're live.
Am I in a stream?
I said gears, keys, and a pocket knife.
I believe that.
See, Zod accepts it, no problem.
I'm talking literally too. That wasn't even a joke.
No.
If you were to kill me in a moment of outside my house, and it's most likely I'm out in the forest, and that's a good place to leave my dead body, it probably mostly have, that in it.
And then chat made fun of me for wearing gray sweatpants because I had nothing in my pockets. And that I have a hole in them.
Wait, your sweatpants have pockets?
Yeah, my sweatpants have pockets. These are like the best sweatpants I've ever seen. They're so comfortable, and I cannot find another pair. They're like 10 years old now, so they're all worn out. And they got a hole in them.
The two guards stop our hero again. He may not pass.
Give them the purse full of precious gems.
Guards open
Precious
their eyes
gems!
wide
Get the
and
precious,
pounce on the
precious gems!
Consumed with
They're so
greed,
precious.
They are too busy fighting over how to
They're so
divide the
goddamn
gemstones
precious.
that they
They're
are
so
their
fucking
own.
precious.
They're
so
illusions. They're rocks.
They're so precious. They're precious.
Among
I'm turning
the
off noise
silence,
suppression gear.
Okay.
the sword rises up
So,
from the stone.
let me know if you can
Is that
hear.
not the prize for the tournament?
1 second.
I'm about to pull the sword out of the stone, bro.
Can you hear that?
Yes. Very plainly.
Wait.
Now I see the sword there gleaming, and I silent and trembling approach.
Cool. I was just making sure. Is it bad sounding, or does it come through Discord pretty okay?
It's coming through okay, but
What
there's
have you done? Cries
other
an
music
angry
playing in the
voice
game.
that terrified Arthur.
Zotman is louder than Gear. That's actually real life.
Do you think you are the next
I'm
High
metering
King?
much higher than you, so
Not, mocks Arthur, shoving him out of the way. He, one of the top knights, just cannot bring himself to give up. He yanks on the hilt of the sword, but it will not.
If you were to see us, me and Gear, having a conversation
Drawn to the
in
sea,
public,
a crowd
and you were like the paparazzi,
served by so many
you would be able to hear me
finally gives
clearly, and Gear-O-Matic would be like the muffled, like, informant.
the sword.
You know what I mean? Like,
I also I keep my microphone very close to my mouth, so yeah, I generally talk a little quieter.
Silent and trembling with wonderment.
Beta versus Alpha.
They gaze.
I don't think it's that way. I think it's more of loudmouth versus solemn.
Arthur cries of
Zot the Chad speaker. Well, for what it's worth, Gear, did you ever give a lot of like public speeches?
No.
Now take the sword, for you are the one.
I did.
You are Uther.
Someone grew up in a louder family than the other. Oh yeah, 100% I did. I can
Zot's-
almost keep.
You're also the youngest?
I'm the youngest, yes.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, so you had to fight to be heard. I was just oldest, so I was already heard. I've pulled the sword out of the stone. The ad's starting in a minute, by the way, chat. The coronation took place in the Cathedral of London the following day. After being proclaimed High King of Britain, Arthur did not forget his brother and appointed him seneschal. I mean, I can be louder. A great feast was held. No, see, it doesn't make sense for me to yell like that. And so the High King came on to tour his kingdom, visiting the city and meeting his subjects. For days on end, barons and ladies buoyed by jubilation and hope came to pay their respects to the High
I'm just laughing at how it would have been
King.
bad to do a front letter swap on those words. Would be.
what words? Buoy and the other one? I don't
Buoyed
even
and
remember.
jubilation.
Why is that a thought that approaches your mind?
Because when funny words go by like that, that's what I think, all right?
I can't even be loud in private. Why would I want to be loud? Also, you're literally the one who said that loud people upset you. But some of the nobles who were sent gifts from Arthur insulted both the messenger and the High King himself. After the incident, the rebellious barons and kings, led by King Lot of Orkney, challenged Arthur's authority, defying him openly. The High King had to come to the aid of Leo de Grants, King of Carmelides, whose castle was under siege by King Rience. Oh God. After the battle had been won, the High King was resting in Leo de Grants' castle when he met his host's daughter, the beautiful Guinevere. He fell in love with her at first sight and asked for her hand in marriage. The young woman agreed, and Leo de Grants gave them his blessing. Sensing new trouble would soon break out, the High King hastened to Caerleon Castle, where he set up court. Also, on top of this, I have my audio set up in such a way that I can get louder, and it doesn't, like, blow things out. Unlike, like, you ever... I don't want to pick on him, but what's his name? Tyler 1? And how anytime he talks, his mic is just clipping 100% of the time.
Oh, yeah, it's like, well...
That's like the meme shitty mic. Like, I don't want to be that person.
Me and Gear, we gossip, you know. Me and Gear gossip, and we gossip about big streamers who have shit ass tech, and we get jealous.
What's funny is we don't really, but at the same time, like
we kind of do.
We kind of do.
Big streamers with shit ass tech.
It's just like, why have like clipping audio when
you got all the, like, yeah, we have all the financing in the world to.
I was gonna say, yeah, like I don't know his financial situation, but a lot of those big streamers have more money than they know what to do with at the moment, and it's like your mic sounds like it's dying.
You know what I mean? Like you have enough like money from streaming to have your own set-in producer without cutting into your dividends. Why not?
Sure.
You don't even have to stream. You know, you could just have everything run. You know, pull it up.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's just like you literally have like almost any resource you need. Like even if you hired somebody, like, you know, how much would I charge Mike for an audio touch-up of his game show? I'd have to know what he's running, what he's working with. I mean, this gets into a larger conversation, which me and Zod have had many times, is because of my audio background.
He gets mad.
I get mad, but I also want to do things right.
Fucking mad.
I want to do things the right way, and that's not like
I come
running
in a
shitty
direction.
VSTs and using
a different direction. It's path of least resistance. Path of least technical resistance.
Yeah, and that's what you end up with, fucking clip mic town, or you end up trying to stream and not having audio, or running your audio from your game console through a digitizer, through your monitor, through a mixer into your PC, back out to your headphones. That's what you end up with when you do path of least resistance, and it shows.
That isn't a path of least resistance, though.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
It is when you don't know any better.
Bone versus gear fight. Bone versus cog fight. Least resistance is the most common type of streamer. I actually no. There's a philosophy. I follow a different philosophy than Gear in terms of the tech side of things, but we both fall in line in terms of.
You say path of least resistance. However, I have a microphone, a preamp, and a ADC interface. I don't have an outboard compressor. I don't have 6 million VSTs, which delay my audio by 3 seconds. I don't have any of that. That's all complicated, and I don't have ASIO custom fucking WAPC drivers for all this shit. I paid the money for a decent interface. It does everything I needed to do. It's simple. I can change it in a moment's notice. I mean, I can go in here and I can change the EQ and just change everything and just have it like have whatever I need. Like it takes 2 seconds to do. Like, I don't have to stop my stream and delay for a month while I wait for a new mixer
How much
because
did that cost?
it was a little bit of money, but you know what? I didn't need to get something like this. I got this so I can record concerts, not to do streaming. But there are plenty of interfaces that do the same thing that aren't as much as what I paid.
That's true. I don't know. I think my setup is I think what you're describing would just minus a few things, and I don't have any delay. I don't have any clipping.
I feel like every time we've joined a Discord call for the last year, it has not worked immediately for you.
What do you mean? I fixed that. I have my stuff run on startup.
Okay.
You have ever since I've done it.
All your complicated stuff starts on startup. Okay, but then why do I hear your voice twice when you share your screen? How come I'm not on stream when I talk sometimes?
Well, you're not on stream when you talk sometimes because that's an OBS.
It's still. Nah, it's easy enough to unmute. I know. I've done that before, but
yeah, I always have my Discord channel muted in OBS.
I never have it muted because I turned off all the sound alerts. So the only time I would have sound is if somebody was in chat with me.
I get cagey about it. I don't know why. Like specifically, you know how I am with like capturing like Discord windows and stuff.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing is I don't use the application sound capture. Like I route everything through my mixer because it's better and I can control the audio and I can apply whatever compression or whatever to it.
But see, I like the granularity of individual application volume control within OBS. And having the independence to change what that sounds like to my ears to Stream's ears is nice.
Yeah, all my stuff is completely independent between me and Stream. I can mute the stuff for Stream and still hear it.
You can. Is it muted? And see, this is more of a question on your setup then. Because you're controlling on a physical channel then per application then?
No, I can just mute either my desktop or I have my browser go to a different channel or I have VLC go to.
So how do you route the application audio of your browser to the physical device is what I'm asking.
Windows allows you to select an output per application. So I just thought blanket have.
See, but then at that point, then that's similar. It's getting to the similar end. Right, because you're going to the Windows interface, which I would argue is worse than OBS's interface.
The hook for OBS is what I'm wary of because that's new. You know what I mean? Whereas Windows doing audio to a specific interface has been around since 7 XP. I don't know exactly, but
if I have to trawl through for what I do for streaming, right? If I'm streaming a browser window, I'm very explicit in that browser window being as that title of that browser window, right?
In your mixer?
In OBS, yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah, see, I just have all my browsers go to the same channel. I don't differentiate between windows.
I need to differentiate between the windows. And that's the solution I had to find in OBS. It does take a lot more. Well, not just because I'm playing music, but because there's certain things I want to go to VOD and certain other things I don't. And that's the thing you can't overcome with that Windows audio selection. You still have to use OBS's channeling, right?
I mean, I could just have it go out one output and back in twice and just mute whichever one if I really wanted to do that. But yeah,
we're talking steps of complication, but that's my whole point.
I could. I mean, I don't fool around with all that. I mean, I would just not say
absolutely. But now, chat. This is where me and Gear get to the point of we stream differently.
Oh, right? Yeah, we vastly different content. So yeah,
vastly different content. Gear streams for recording and uploading to VOD. I stream for in the moment, and I try to stay in OBS as much as I can. Everything else,
I try not to do OBS as much as I can.
I do everything.
I have it all set up and I leave it. I mean, I tweak the volume and I'll mute things, but that's about it.
But the thing is, the people we bitch about, they never encompass their tool set broadly.
No.
I would even
No.
call it casual, like, because me and Gear, at the end of the day, both of us, we love the tech of streaming. In fact, me and Gear, we found a piece of tech recently that just was like, oh fuck, this changes.
I would say Zot and I are competitive. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I wouldn't say I stream casually as much as it's a hobby. You know what I mean? I do take it kind of serious, but
Gear
not
takes it vastly more serious than I.
not in a I'm doing this to earn money way, just more of a I'm doing this because it's fun kind of way. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know. I could pick apart people setup, and again, yeah, you're like where Ducky said, your goals inform your back end design. Sure, I do think that there is a level of, I don't want to say pride because that makes it sound like I'm sitting here, jerking off over being a streamer.
You have a level of professional credibility that you can.
Sure.
But I think that comes at a focus of a lot of people get into streaming just happen to have a computer and a Yeti. You know what I mean? And that's how I would argue probably 99% of people who start streaming.
Every time I've used the Yeti, I've been unimpressed personally.
You also have to go look at the top
tools.
Go look at the top videos that people watch for like how to start streaming.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know.
YouTube.
I know. I've watched a few of them.
And if you want to be the change in the world that you want to be, Gear.
You think I should make a tutorial on how to stream properly?
No, not one tutorial. A whole LinkedIn learning course.
LinkedIn learning course?
Yeah.
I will admit, to my own embarrassment, at one point I had started a document on not how to stream, but how I would stream for a newer person, and scrapped it promptly a couple months later when I was like maybe 10% done. But yeah, I don't know, because my opinions maybe aren't the correct opinions, but I don't know, maybe they're more correct than.
It's not, tutorials ain't about opinions. It's just a how-to, dog. It doesn't need to be any more complicated than that.
I would say your opinions inform that, because
sure, but that's the flavor of the video you're making at the end of the day. And you say, here's how to stream if blank. You don't want to be a dick knob. I don't know what to say. I could do a whole stream set thing about how to stream. It has nothing to do with technical. It's just like how to inform your content and create a niche. You know what I mean? Like it could just be the soft aspects of streaming, right? It doesn't go at it from different angles. But at the end of the day, some people's how to start streaming is some guy heavily breathing in the background and is showing you how to use OBS and put up a scene and use a stream key, and then they end in 5 minutes. It works. People get started with that, right?
Hey guys, it's my tutorial on how to run OBS.
You gotta go get an HVAC, April air, and have it running in the background, and then you need to have some one yelling outside the window.
I just crank my air purifier up massively high. All that gets filtered out. I mean, I have it gated pretty tight, but
I'm just thinking, Gear, we should do a skit video. You should do how to stream legit, and then we should do a different one on my channel. It's how to stream, but it's just the most dog shit.
Dude,
quality thing.
Completely. An idea that's been floating around in my head is how to make a tutorial. Was a video I was thinking of, and it was all things it would start off normal, and then halfway through it would be oh yeah, for better engagement, have an interesting accent, and it would switch to a Scandinavian. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just having an interesting European accent, just stuff like that. Just make it be not really how to make a tutorial, just an amalgamation of all the tropes of making one.
Oh, but you see, do not use you make the tutorial how to misinform people type of tutorials, whereas you editing it in a different software than you're actually referring people to use.
I've always thought it would be funny to do like you remember that old channel, How to Basic?
Yeah.
Like that, but for tech. You know what I mean? But not as like outlandish and like, destroying things, just wrong info, but presented in like a pretty plausible way. But you got to sell your credentials up front and then go from there. What, the 10 viewer average I have after 9 years? How many years?
I mean, that's
11 years of streaming.
It's like the equivalent of. I think
Rachel,
your credentials could be the content in itself. I mean,
sure, the content and the part of the charity stream stuff, but
not even that. It's you could even say straight up, hey, viewership ain't everything, right? The viewership is its own beast.
What is streaming if not viewers?
Stream of thought.
I mean, I'm joking, but also sort of not. Like, if you're streaming to yourself, like, I don't know. See, what's interesting is like coworkers have asked me like their kids like wanted to get into streaming, and I never have a good answer. It's always don't expect to make money is my number one recommendation. Don't expect to make money. Don't expect to have viewers. Is like, I don't know. I feel like we've passed over saturation at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
sure. I think it's also
which is not a great view to have, but
I think you could look at it from a more optimistic perspective. Is looking at it from if you're going to stream, don't go in expecting to make money, and then also find your niche.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's something that I definitely have not really done. Although I don't know, the Dwarf Fortress videos do good, but I don't want to be.
I stream for sport.
Streamer.
Arguably, I don't have a strict schedule. If you watch my stream, I do it just because I don't know. I just like bullshitting online. I don't even really stream for the viewers half the time. Truth be told, sometimes I'll make the stream kind of fucking awkward for viewers. I've done it many occasions. It's more about Zot plays Tekken. I don't think I'll play. I might play Mortal Kombat on stream at some point, but I just like that. I personally like the solutions involved, and then the feedback from whoever is watching, not the amount, but from whoever in the moment. I always like the dialogue in the moment stuff. And so if you were to like isolate my kind of streaming from what I view it as, is like I just like the conversational aspect. That in and of itself might not attract a large audience. Probably doesn't even adequate a large audience, because once you get like 200 viewers or more, the stream moves too fast. And again, I like the niche stuff anyway. That's why I do metal detecting in the first place. I metal detect regardless of whether I stream or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's a good balance of where I'd like to be chatters wise. I think more so recently I've been a lot more conversational stuff in my chat, which I appreciate, but I don't know.
Well, how would you feel on the flip side? How would you feel if you were like top 0.5% streamer and you had just
untenable?
Well, no. I will say this. I asked the question why there's some streamers with 50,000 viewers. I don't get it. But that's me. I'm 35-year-old me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No,
so
I understand. I'm in the same boat. I don't know. I
used to know what cool was, but then cool became different.
I think mechanically I'd probably make some changes in my life. I don't think I want to quit work unless I knew I was like set for a long time. But I probably would consider budgetary allowing getting like a small studio to stream out of. Probably hiring some people to edit stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all mechanical stuff. It's not really like,
right.
What would I change about me?
I mechanically, I've talked with Carrion, because me and Carrion for years, since high school, we've been wanting to make movies. Like shorts. Very like produced shorts. Scripted.
You guys got to move out here so we could all do it.
he's like, well, I got to get out of Colorado, or you need to move to Colorado. I'm like, I can't afford. I can't afford it. The same thing. It's like I can't. You know, it's like it's people and lives. It's like we're mid 30s, full-time jobbies type folk. You know,
Yeah.
and when you put that into component, I doubt a lot of the top 5% streamers, even the top 10% streamers, are full-time jobby folk.
No, none of them are. There's no way any of them are. I think once you get to that point,
that is your full-time jobby.
Well, yes, but I think the average person would say, all right, why am I working when I'm making much more money doing this? Whereas I think my personal feelings on it is that it's fleeting. You know what I mean? Like, what if A, I can't do that anymore, or B, something happens, or, you know, like, God forbid I get canceled or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't
hard docs, Steven. Like, what if you're like the flow of information in people's prying eyes sort of thing?
Sure. I mean, I wouldn't want to rely on something like that is, unless I knew that I was set for life, I wouldn't want to do that.
Did you see that we're talking drama here, but did you see that the American Music Awards, the biggest streamer on Twitch, Kai Cenat or whatever, he was live streaming from it, and then a guy came up to him while he was streaming, and the dude came up to him with his family, and the dude said, I really like the new Kanye.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, and it was really fucking awkward.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I don't really give a crap about Kai's stream. I don't know the streamer. Yeah, he was serious.
I could see that as a bit, but yeah, it's not good. Serious.
And the dude was there with his daughter and stuff. It was really, really bad.
Yeah.
But to the credit of in the moment, again, I don't know. I don't watch super large streamers. Like, I can't imagine having 50,000 people watching you.
I think at that point, you're not even looking at chat. Like, you're just being you.
Why would you? There's nothing to look at.
Maybe you have a filtered chat of people who you
super chatters, super mods. Like, how many?
I wouldn't even say super chatters, because that's people who paid. You know what I mean? Like, right. I would. As weird as it sounds, I'd probably want to vet people that I know, like, that I want to read their comments. You know what I mean? Like.
But then go back in time to to the radio show guy taking in calls.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always what I always relate to streaming, is that public access radio DJ mix, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, we streaming is big because of gaming content and the Let's Play, but at the end of the day, it's just someone talking and getting a somewhat direct line to the people watching.
Sure.
And God, could you imagine having a call-in feature?
There are streams that do that.
I know, but how the fuck do you vet that?
You don't.
Cool down for messages set to 30 minutes.
But that might help with chatting, but A, that encourages alternate accounts, and B, that just makes people say wilder stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's better just to really ignore it, or again have moderators that deal with it and ignore it yourself.
But I mean, those big streamers, there's nothing being said of value anyway.
No.
It's just big ASCII anime titties flying by constantly. Political statements of inaneness flying by.
Yeah.
And so it's arguable, like this type of chat that we have here is a snowflake amongst other fucked up snowflakes on Twitch. It is a special snowflake. And then when you associate it with the general number, I don't know. I try not to view on that outside of broadly, whether as long as the conversation or you yourself is enjoying it, one or the other. But there are people. It's interesting with these type of dialogue style streams is that when someone comes into the chat and is starting shit. almost immediately.
Yeah.
Because it sticks out. Someone tries to be a different kind of meme lord. It's so apparent.
Yeah, well,
It's
I
like-
mean, the ratio between genuine chat and that kind of thing is so astronomically different in a chat like this than it is in a giant chat like, you know, thousands of people.
I feel like I'm getting called out. No, I would like you talk
Trust
in
me.
complete sentences. Like,
If you were doing that stuff, you wouldn't be here. I don't abide any of that.
we
in my
don't
chat.
tolerate that stuff, and we generally call that stuff pretty quickly, because at the end of the day, me and Gear are both moderators for larger streams. That's just a thing of life. But even then, it's annoying, and it fucks with the flow.
Well, Zaka's been on
Jack.
thin ice for 6 years or no.
But even then, it's like, on the other side of things, we do tolerate kind of, to a certain degree, like odd
Sure.
viewpoints, so as long as they're not starting shit. I mean, it's just
Sure, and I more than once people have come in here and started shit, and I've talked to them in a rational way until they just gave up. Like, there's some people who don't even need the ban. You just, you know, don't let them get to you, and that's it. I mean, I don't remember where it is. Somewhere I have a screenshot of somebody who came in here, tried to rile me up, failed, and then went and posted on 4chan, like, hey, look at this guy, he's a doofus. Like, you know, go in there and bust his balls or whatever. And I ended up getting like 3 new viewers who like continue to come back because they were, you know, they realized, hey, he's chill, like he's not doing shit, like
it's
you know,
especially like when people like the obvious troll, right? But then like every once in a while you just get a weird dude.
weird dude, yeah.
Yeah. And those are the kind of, for me, ironically, as long as they're not like doing hateful stuff, those are the more interesting things. At least for me, what I enjoy when, like, I'm not saying chat be weird in either of our streams, but
you can't force it.
there was that one time that like philosophical existentialist dude came into my metal detecting stream, and I thought it was the funniest shit. He's just talking about like, why are you searching for things that you're not searching for? I'm like, bruh, I'm digging in the dirt.
I'm digging a hole, dude.
I'm just digging in the dirt. I don't
found
know.
a rock that beeped at me. Like, come on.
You mentioned it. Yeah, that was, again, at that point, and like especially when you're IRL streaming, you don't have a lot of room to moderate, so you have to kind of pick and choose your battles on how much you're willing to hear in your ear. The call of digging. It's like, if you want, no, wants aren't needs, needs aren't wants. It's like, stop talking in circles. You're watching a guy walk around Midwest digging in the dirt.
Beeping a hole, yeah.
Yeah. I'm working on getting rid of TTS for metal detecting, by the way. It's just, I cannot, unless Gear gives me a better solution. I don't have it right now.
I don't have anything immediate. I mean, I have seen some things on how to like modify glasses to be able to do what you want to do, but you know, that's not anything that I would say is easy to do. You know what I mean? Like,
You regret kind of having beep in your name? No, you're fine. There's someone in our chat and in our Discord who is perfectly fine, but they have the worst username by far, by so long. It is
think of it this way: any number that is said might be converted to
a full number,
a full text string of a number.
123,123,123. And this said chatter likes to chat a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's funny. You know,
it's horribly funny, but I'm just like, well, I gotta sit here. And there's 2 users.
oh,
You know,
sure.
we're calling out chatters in our community, but they're already aware. They're already aware. They know what's up, and it's fine. But that's like, okay, we've just created, you know, within our own little stream discussion area. I don't want to say like community because you can use the term community, but it's like we've created a meme, right? But let it be names. Let it be names in the chat. You know, people can get too invested in this type of stuff. You know.
Yeah. Also,
God,
I do feel weird about saying that when it's like subsections of other community. You know what I mean? Like.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I don't know.
And I think when we talk about like what we do with like the streams and in the Discord, I miss like message boards in a certain way. But even those got like out of hand.
Discord killed most of them, unfortunately. But
right. But like a level of expectation of grass touching, even.
I am trying to find that screenshot while we're talking, by the way.
Implied expectation of grass touching every once in a while. That's all we ask. Imagine TTS 6969 _ I don't think it says underscores in the TTS, thank God.
On yours, yeah. I think it depends on which one you use.
We found a TTS tool recently that like would read only every other message. It had like options. It said not even read the username at all, which I don't want that. I just wish there was one that gave everybody a nickname.
If you did every other message and people knew that, they would just post like multiple times. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I need glasses, or I don't like the idea. Like a lot of streamers put their phone on their wrist and they read chat. I don't like that.
Just because of mechanical having to look at your wrist?
No, I'm digging in the dirt and I gotta get my phone all fucked up doing that. I need it.
They have these things called cases that you can get.
I know, but like I don't want any sort of thing on my arms other than what I'm using to dig. I don't need anything in the way of that.
You can get an arm to put it off your chest. Look down at it.
That's what I did when I originally started streaming. I don't know. I don't like having my phone in direct sunlight. There's just a whole lot of reasons why I just don't like having my phone out.
Sure, that makes sense.
Why don't you make it read the message and only not the name? Because then I don't know who's talking.
Yeah, you gotta know who to address. And also, knowing who it is provides some context to yourself as well. Like I wouldn't want to not know who's talking. You know what I mean?
But I've had glasses, and they are getting so close. They just don't have the app yet. Like, there's a set of glasses I want to get, and they're working on deving stuff, but they don't have the Twitch chat app yet. And I'm not going to buy the glasses until that's, like, there, and I'll get those glasses the moment. I don't want, like, AR glasses. I just want... No, not Ray-Bans. They're called the Even Realities G1. They're more simple than that, and they last, like... 2 days of charging. They have a very simple green monochrome display, and it actually works well in sunlight. And they don't look fucking stupid. They don't make you look like an idiot, which is very important to me.
You gotta pick your battles. I mean,
I already look like an idiot. I don't need to have like these BCGs
exactly.
on my head.
What's more? What's one more? What's one more? I can't believe I can't find this stupid fucking screenshot. This is a picture of me from a million years ago, though. 2016. That's a long time ago.
That was 9 years ago.
I'm like surprised I cannot find this screenshot. It's hilarious though. I want to find it just to laugh at it, but I don't know.
Ever since I got back from Colorado, my lips have been chapped.
Dry air up there?
Oh, quite dry. I mean, it's just, well, it was raining the whole time, but it's just, it's dry even then. The town we were staying at was around 8,000 feet elevation.
Ooh.
Which is pretty sweet. But I was like walking around outside, and then Maybe like I kneeled down like to know how to do a little metal detecting. And I stood up and I was like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yep.
oh, fuck, I can't breathe. Oh, sweet God. Give me that air. A little more of that. We went to Steamboat Springs, which I told that to Darren. He's like, that's not a real town. That's a town from Fortnite. And I laughed.
So that sounds like something from Fallout. Fucking Steamboat Springs.
Steamboat Springs, yeah. One of like the most expensive like zip codes in the United States too.
Yeah.
And we were driving out there and I was like I was having Bailey look at Zillow. It's like there's a $12 million house. There's another $12 million house type of thing. No houses, nothing like the condos were going for $2 million. Like just 2-bed, 1-bath condos.
I would think that would be in Hawaii or Alaska, not Steamboat Springs.
It's just it's gorgeous out there. Because the area where we were staying, it's in a smaller town, but it's in like the more deserty area of the mountains. Like it's more like sagebrush and stuff. But then you go up higher and then you go about an hour like west north, and it looks like the Swiss Alps out there. It's all green.
Oh, nice.
And it's just immaculate out there. And I can totally understand why it costs so much. But it's like also like when you see that much land dedicated to a house, you expect there to be like, they call these things ranches, but I saw no ranching occurring. It was just big fuck house. I didn't see any horses. I didn't see cattle. And I guess that's where the term
ranch style thought.
Ranch style house is a house that is all on the first floor.
I'm aware. I'm joking.
These were like full blown ass mansions. And there's nothing going on. And I'm like, I want a metal tech that. I want a metal tech. But there's a uranium mine near there. And I want to, next time I'm going to be out there soon.
Find some uranium nuggets.
Bring
them home.
I'm going to fly out to Denver next time though. So that drive through Nebraska, 10 hours in rain through Nebraska.
Yep. I'll pass on that.
Well, it's actually 12 hours because it's 10 hours to Denver from where we are. Golden, Colorado is nice, but go up to the mountains. There's one section of that out of Denver up to where we were. It goes to Silverthorne, which is a very cute town, very expensive. And then go an hour north-ish, you get to the town where I was staying, and then you go an hour northwest-ish, that takes you to Steamboat Springs, right? On the way to Silverthorne, that takes you through kind of in the initial passes of the mountains from Denver. There was a section of road that had all these signs that they were warning truck drivers about the grade of the road, right? Because if
too steep,
and it said 6% grade for the next 7 miles, going down.
Yeah.
And so they say, "Are your brakes checked?" There's constantly signs. Have you checked your brakes? Because if your brakes aren't good enough or they aren't up to stuff, they will melt and you will not be able to stop.
You got to use the runoff, right?
The runoff lane, which is like at a 45-degree fucking angle of gravel.
You're stopping.
You're not stopping, but you are. I was thinking that's so steep. It looks like the truck would just run right into it.
I mean, yeah, the point is to kind of just get it to go into the dirt.
Softly slow down the vehicle without complete obliteration.
Gravel. I think at that point, you're not worried about the vehicle. You're worried about stopping, you know?
So I'm driving my hybrid truck, right? And I've been really fastidious with tracking my MPG and doing like hypermiling techniques, especially on the flats of the Midwest, because you don't really get good gas mileage on flats, believe it or not, in general, because you're usually not going to get a good headwind or good tailwind in any case, and a bunch of other factors. So going to Nebraska, I got around like 28 miles per gallon. Going to the mountains, I got like 48 to 55 miles per gallon. And it's
downhill
because
or both?
Just, overall, because it wasn't just all going up. It's just way, like, all up and down sort of stuff. So you're
Mhm.
constantly recharging the EV component
Mhm.
of the truck.
Oh, right. I forgot you have a hybrid.
Yeah. So my truck isn't a plug-in hybrid. It's just a regenerative braking hybrid.
Mhm.
And when I was going down that grade of 6% for 7 miles, I didn't have my foot on the gas or brake. I just
Yeah. 'Cause
let
was
it
doing
coast.
regen and it kept you at your speed, right?
It was steep enough to overcome the regenerative braking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It regen to keep you at the speed that you need to go.
But there was no throttle at all. It was just constantly recharging. I'm saying we were coasting downhill. There was no power going towards the wheels ever.
Yeah,
and I was maintaining around 65, 70. But then I was recharging the cars for so long, I started hearing sounds I did not recognize coming from my truck. And it sounded like there was some sort of mechanism to dissipate charge or something, or disconnect the regenerative. I don't know. It had like this kind of
I could totally see that once it's
kind of
done.
noise to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Once it's done, because otherwise you either have to disconnect the drivetrain or you have to disconnect the electronics so it doesn't or dissipate the heat, the extra heat. Like
exactly. And I was like, it was kind of scaring me. I was like, oh, what is my truck? I mean, obviously I have to account for this when they're manufacturing the vehicles, but I never encountered it because I'd never driven a hybrid before. But yeah, and then I kind of wish that like cars are more like arcadey. It's like you get to supercharge your battery for a little bit. You know, like I'm going up that mountain, I'm gonna get supercharged.
I'm gonna avoid having my car melt while driving downhill at 90 miles an hour, please.
It was fucking sweet. But no, we met up with Carrion. He lives out there, and I brought pizza dough because we're gonna make pizza at his house.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know anything about going up in elevation, right? Pressure difference.
And you got a little bloaty on that.
I knew what to do. I brought it in a cooler.
Okay.
2 prepared doughs in sealed cases. And when I got to Denver, I burped them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got up to his area, which is another 2,000 or so feet higher, I burped them again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that did well enough. I was more concerned about my Topo Chicos that I was bringing with, because they're already at high pressure and they're in glass bottles, but they did fine. But no, when I got to Denver and I opened up the cooler, like they'd made a very, very nice pop when I opened them up.
Nice.
I like that stuff. Very nice.
Can't believe I cannot find the screenshot, dude. I know I have it somewhere.
I will say, Gear, if you ever come to Colorado, which I do recommend you do sometime, we need to get a group of folk together to go to Casa Bonita again, because that place is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'd go. Sound like fun.
Casa Bonita, horribly expensive for if you're going for food, but if everything else, it totally makes sense.
That's kind of everything these days, you know.
Well, every entree is $39.
Yeah, but that includes the cost of everything else, right?
Everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you like South Park, it's almost like you have to go if you're a fan of South Park. But it's not so South Parky that you wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
It's just because the facility, Casa Bonita, was opened in the 70s. And then Matt and Trey, the creators of South Park, bought it a few years ago because it was kind of like it needed a lot of work.
Yeah.
And they renovate it. And so like when we had to get our reservation for that weekend back in February.
Oh my God. Is it that popular?
Well, Memorial Day weekend specifically.
Okay, never mind.
But then you go there and you're like, okay, this place operates most days, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, oh my God, they have actors, they have cliff divers, And all
Yeah,
these events that are going on are happening on a timed basis throughout the day. So every hour they do a cliff diving event. Every 15, I think every 45 minutes there's a puppet show. And then there's like, I use the term emergent gameplay as I'm walking around here. Because you guys are walking around, you'll just have entertainers that will like stop you and say, hey, are you interested in this? And like we did this one thing where a guy's like, hey, you like pirates? And we're all adults here. Like you can tone it down for children, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you like pirates? And he had us do like some silly stuff, like put a hand over one eye and spin around on your peg leg sort of thing. It was, fun stuff to have kids do, right? And then after we did that, he's like, oh, go into this room and try to unlock, and this clam will, if you find the right function, this clam will give you a magical pearl. And there's just like a little escape room, like levers and switch sort of thing there. And you can hit some button, and all of a sudden it'll pop a little gotcha ball that's shaped like a pearl. And it had a little cute little octopus inside of it. And all of us got to do it and won one. And it's like, okay, that could cost money.
Yeah. I imagine it's kind of a more interactive, like, medieval times or something, yeah? Where you got people performing and
yeah, constantly. I would say, but someone said Rainforest Cafe, and I'm like, this shits on Rainforest Cafe by like a huge degree, because it's not just like the vibe. Like where we were seated in the gold mine, but other people could be seated near the waterfall. You know what I mean? Like every time you went there, you might be seated in a different themed area.
The poncho seats for dinner.
Well, I think you had to pay for like the premium seating that's near like the cool stuff, the really cool stuff. But I was happy in the gold mine. It was nice to chill. There was like the underpants gnomes from South Park, and they had a little like a projection that showed a silhouette of them mining, and there was like all the audio in there was great. It had like thunder and lightning stuff going on. You could hear like mine carts rolling across. Just like really kitschy, a lot of ironic humor too, because they injected some of like the South Park like styling, but none of the crass like vulgar humor. It's just kind of like there's someone dressed up as Man Bear Pig type of thing.
I did find the screenshots, however, I need to censor certain things because it was a different time.
Send it to me. I want to see it.
Yeah, sure. Hang on a second. Give me a second. I gotta refine that again because I copied it, but it's being dumb. Where is it? Hang on a second. Yeah, there it is. Here you go. All right, chat. Give me a second to censor it. Open with. Oh, it's thinking. Uh-oh. There it goes. No. F words. I'm not that third image. I'm not going to show.
It's 4chan. What are you like?
Yeah.
Come on.
Like,
yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I don't like blindly publish my old VODs, is because I know I've like read dumb stuff off of there out loud in like oh, look how dumb this is way, but I still said words that I maybe don't want to have said, you know what I mean?
4chan is not allowed to reclaim slurs. It's not about reclamation. It's just history at that point, you know, and the idea of like,
I'm gonna play it safe either way, you know what I mean?
We're talking, that's just how them speak there. I wouldn't defend it one way or the other. Like, imagine going through the effort.
Yeah, right. That was what it was funny about it. It's just like after all that, like this is what's gonna happen. There's the first one. And here's this second one. I'll try and squeeze him. And it's just like somebody was upset that like I didn't give them a reaction, and their thought was to post it here and like try and get a reaction. And then like I'm not gonna put the third one in because there's a lot I have to censor from that. But I'll post the relevant sentence from the third one once I find it again. Hang on a second. There it is.
Please bump. It's desperate.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. It's like, all right, dude. Like
that should be your tagline for your stream. That guy sounded dead inside. He's not going to play with us.
Specifically, why I have that clipped is because I would put it on stream sometimes.
It's pretty good.
And it's like, all right, you're gonna come in here and try and get a rise out of me. I'm gonna turn it 180. I think I got a rise out of him a little bit because he was upset that he couldn't get a rise out of me, like to the point where they pivoted to somebody else. And then, like I said, that top piece is from a third one, but they're just listing like slurs about people they want to find to make a good reaction. It's like whatever. But I don't know. It's just dumb. It's just like really that's what.
And even then, like that type of stuff nowadays is relegated to not even on 4chan anymore. There's like just worse places for that, and that's like
sure. But I mean, back then that's kind of what it was, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm looking through all my old screenshots. There's a lot of confusing stuff that I'm trying to remember. Like, what was the context of that? Like, I don't know. But yeah, that's what I mean by like, yeah, all right, you can try to like do that, but sometimes you're better off not ignoring it, but just like acknowledging it and be like, all right, cool, dude, like you got nothing better to do. Like, do you want to sit here and talk and have like a real, you know, stream experience, or do you want to just try and dogpile in and fail? Like,
well, it's even cringier than just a 4chan user. It's a 4chan user unable to get a like a circle jerk going. They like it's like imagine going on 4chan and not even trolling right, like,
yeah,
and then having the other people on 4chan like not sniff it out. Like that's
yeah.
If that's like the spaghetti in your pocket sort of situation, I can't think of anything that is equivalent for the internet. It's just, and again, it all goes back to we were talking about. It's like you're sniffing out. I don't even know. Maybe it's like it's probably now that type of thing is probably seen as passe anyway. Like going out and finding it. Yeah.
Back then, that was kind of entertainment for people. I mean,
right, because it was kind of more the Wild West of that, I guess. I don't know.
I still think that kind of thing happens to a degree, though. I mean, it really depends on what you're doing. You got to find somebody who, I hate to say it, but doesn't have their settings correct on things. And
I feel like they're more targeted now. I think they're
sure they
more
are
targeted. Yeah,
I'm sure they are. I'm sure now there's groups dedicated to it instead of just people trying to just like get a group together.
Right.
But you know,
the edgy aughts. Yeah.
Did those have a date on them?
2016.
2016. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think I was playing either Red Dead or Dwarf Fortress during that. I'd have to go dig back through my VODs to see what I played on that day.
Jeez.
Those I'd have to dig out a hard drive out of my closet to even see, so I'm not gonna bother with that right now. But
well, hey man, I'm gonna go take care of the wife.
Yeah, I hope she's feeling better.
Yeah, she pulled her neck muscles pretty rough.
Yeah.
Sitting in a car for 10 hours.
Yeah, but, I get stiff. I get you.
But yeah, I'm gonna go give her some happiness. Anyway,
yeah,
I'm gonna bounce. Thanks for letting me drop in and completely upheaval this. But
no, that's all.
Have a good one, dude.
I'll catch you later.
See ya. Bye.
Bye. But yeah, I don't know, chat. I On one hand, like, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, you know, repelled a poorly organized affront. But on the other hand, it's like, am I happy that somebody compared me to being dead inside? Like, not really, but that's why I don't stream to the top 1% of viewers, you know. But I think I'm almost done with this, to be honest. Let's see if we can. We got the silk sleeve. Yeah, adventure summary. So yeah, we are right at the end. Summary allows you to see the state of knights. Quest items. I'm assuming that's it for the demo. There might be a second quest, but I think it's going to be all I do for the demo. Yeah. It's called projecting. Me or them? I guess it doesn't matter. I'm going to be done. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry we got a little derailed. I mean, it was a good conversation, so not sorry, but sorry to the dev who comes in here and sees a 2-hour stream of their demo and finds out 90% of it is me and Zot talking about streaming and 4chan. But, yeah. I hope you guys have a good night. Tomorrow, I will not be streaming on my channel. I'll be doing, our podcast on our podcast channel, twitch.tv/dual redundancy. We're going to discuss season 2 of The Last of Us, if you've watched that, or if you watch me play the game and don't care about spoilers for the show. We're going to be talking about The Rehearsal season 2. I recommend watching both seasons if you haven't. And I know I'll be talking a little bit about Conan O'Brien Must Go season 2. So if you've seen that, you come discuss with us. Appreciate you guys saying hello. But otherwise, right now our plan is to do a multiplayer stream Thursday. Whether or not we get derailed, we'll see, but that is the plan. If we don't do multiplayer stream, I will probably stream something, whether it's Mario or Persona or more demos. I'm not sure, but I will probably do that. And then I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm planning to try and stream again. I may decide a day that I'm not feeling great or whatever and pivot, but that's my current plan. And then Monday, Tuesday, I've got band. So, all right. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you later. Bye.